Hi guys, welcome to yet another edition of Celebrity Uncensored on Tligafricatv. My name is Kenny. It's great to be back on another explosive edition of the show. Today on the show, I have with me a fantastic young Nigerian who operates in the creative industry. He's an MC. He's a phenomenal wedding MC. He's been in the industry for a decade, and it's great to have you, MC Dammy. Welcome to the show.
All right, thank you very much. It's good to be here.
Yes. So MC Dammy, let's talk about MC Dammy. Why did you decide to, your name is,
My name is actually Adedamola. That's what most people don't even know. People call me Dammy.
okay. So you coined,
I coined MC Dammy from. I was actually having name issues when I was trying to get a brand name. In school, in secondary school, my nickname used to be Didon. So when I wanted to use Didon, I found out that somebody was already using Didon. So I was now, looking for a name. So I said MC Damola. It wasn't vibing well for me. So I said, at that time, I did not know that there was somebody behind who is also a comedian and behind that name. So I just went with Dammy, and I said, okay, I think Dammy would fit in with the brand name, and that was how MC Dammy came about.
Oh, great, fantastic. So, can you share with us how you started out in the MC business, or the event business?
Well, I would say it all started out in 2009, but then I started as a stand-up comedian. I used to do comedy shows, go around, do comedy. And when I got into school, I did comedy shows. I was doing comedy and all. Then I was not just getting the satisfaction while I was doing comedy shows. I knew I could do more. And so I decided then to find a niche brand for myself. I wanted to be distinct. I wanted to be different. So I graduated in 2013. Then in 2014, I did my NYC in Lagos in camp. And that was where the whole idea and the vision of venturing into the wedding industry started. So in 2014, during my NYC year, I was getting gigs, and most of the gigs were weddings.
So let me interrupt you. So did you MC an event while you were in camp?
Yes, I won the comedian of the best comedian in camp.
Wow, you're also the star boy that year.
We were actually two, me and one other guy, because we're like the two comedians, vibing comedians. But I was given an award in camp that year. So I participated in the comedy activities.
So that means you were very popular?
Yes, I was very popular in camp. And that was what also helped me when I finished my camp, because that was where I was now getting jobs, and it was now weddings. So from there, I now decided to then I do a lot of research actually, and I love weddings. When I go to host weddings, there's this, I always like to make couple enjoy themselves. I always like to make couple like feel special. I always want that union to be well. It's not just saying just pay me, let me come and do the work. I would put in my best. Sometimes I act as an event planner on that day with the MC job, because I want the best performance, and not just about me. Because I say this to my clients, or when I try to teach young people, I say that when you are an MC, especially when it comes to weddings, you are not the star of the day. The star of the day is the bride herself, because it's actually a day. So you need to try and get the bride to be happy at all costs at that day, and the groom and their guests try to engage them. So that was how, I fell in love with weddings, and I launched my niche brand in the Nigerian wedding industry. In 2016 was when I launched my niche brand. Then since then to date, that is what I've been doing, basically Saturdays, Sundays, weddings.
Okay, I have several questions on my mind right now about, like, how many weddings do you anchor in the Okay, so here, let me backtrack a bit. During before COVID,
Mm.
you don't dey do wedding MC before COVID now.
Yes, now.
So before COVID, like how, because then after COVID, it affected the event industry for a while. But before COVID, like how many weddings were you anchoring in a month?
I was doing in a month. I do at least 2
Okay.
in a month.
In a month.
So I was doing more than 50 in a year.
Okay. So how did you cope during that COVID period?
COVID was an eye opener, and it made me then now venture into content creation, because then we were always everybody was in the house, but and again, as a Lagos based MC, where Lagos was where the COVID incident was really high, and the event industry was shut down for a year and a half. Not even a year, it was going close to 2 years. So I did not get income throughout those years, because I couldn't go out to go and.
So what were you doing during that time?
That time,
you were not making money at all.
I wasn't making money from events.
Okay, you were not making money
from events. Yes, there was no income. Most of the wedding jobs I had that was supposed to happen were all cancelled. Because it was other states, they were still doing events, but in Lagos, we couldn't do anything. So even at that period, it was a tough one for me. It was a tough one for me, because I was not making money. And I had to venture into other things, just to survive and hustle, let money just come in before the event now.
But what lessons did you learn from that period as for your brand? What lessons did you learn?
Well, what I learned was that I think one needs to just have multiple sources of income, number one. Then number two, try and have different skills. Don't not just depend on one skill, because then it was just only a skill I had, and the skill was having issues at that moment. If I had another skill, I could have also, done something with that skill. So once you're starting out in one thing, try and get other things around that same thing that can also, fetch you income, even if that one is having issue at that moment, because we were locked in, and events is a social gathering thing. So what do you then now do? Although some people were doing MC on like digital MC,
I wanted to ask you,
but
I don't already get my answer. I wanted to ask you, did you anchor any virtual?
I didn't get any client at that time who wanted virtual, but it was actually the thing at that time. So I would have done that if the circumstances allowed me to. If events came in, I would have done that.
Now, I didn't even plan to talk about COVID, but so from your own observation, how would you say the Nigerian event industry has changed since that time? What are the major changes that happened, and what are the major changes that happened in your own brand too since that period?
Well, I would say things are back to normal, like if there was not a COVID. That's the way I see it, because it's like the same way people shake, greet. It wasn't. So I think the COVID was just a disruption. It was just like, don't like let there not be social gathering. So so to say, after COVID, things have come back to normal. So there's nothing like, oh, COVID happened, you can't do it. People are even like socializing, greeting and all. But on the other side, I see that events have become more, they now have more precautions. There are more things that have been put in place if if certain things happen. So especially with the plan event management, people have begun to learn how to manage things, but on the long run, in events, you need a social gathering. You need people to be there. So it's something that it just has to happen. It just has to happen. You cannot say people should not come and gather together. So that's what I see. as well. But so far in the Nigerian wedding event industry, I'll say is improving, and it's getting better and better. We have more professionals now, unlike before where it was just anybody that would do anything. I think now we have like two professional bodies now in Nigeria in events, so it's getting more competitive,
Hmm.
and people provide more professional services now.
Yeah, so the wedding industry in Nigeria is like a $1 billion industry right now.
Yes.
It's from
Yes.
if you have to outline all the vendors
Vendors
you need for a wedding,
yes.
at least if you have to start now, I can name like maybe up to 10, or I know you can name like 20 vendors you need from your wedding, from the makeup artist to the
Yeah.
bouncer
Yes.
to the small chops man to the
Yes.
different aspects of the value chain.
Mm.
But what would you say? What would be your advice for because I know an MC can ma or make a wedding.
Mm.
Have you ever had any experience like that before I even go to the question? Maybe
I've,
you experiencing a wedding, maybe say or more.
I've had issues with different clients. At least that was during my starting days, which I come to learn from it. I've some clients are not they are not patient. Some clients are not. Some clients are rude. Some clients are they believe because they are paying you, they own you at that moment. So you meet different clients. So what I would say is, I've made some mistakes sometimes, and I learned from them. Sometimes maybe during the running of the program, I miss some things out. It happens earlier on, and it causes issues. Then there's always the issue of balance.
I wanted to ask you that question. I was waiting for you to finish that.
Has
somebody ever ran away
yes,
with your money?
yes, I don't get balance. So that even that what made me even change my payment policies, because I had come to learn at the end of the day. Because after you do a work finish, you will now start looking for for clients. They will tell you they are coming, and that once the reception is over,
Once the event is over, until you don't go.
to say you want to be
You
following,
don't
pursue you,
husband,
give me balance. So it's balance is always an issue again. Then the band and DJ.
MCs, DJs, and the band, they always are fighting.
Yes, there's
Why?
always a problem, and that's something I think it should be more addressed when it comes to events, especially with the band people. I believe that if you are being paid as a band person, you should not put all your hope on being sprayed on that day, because that's always the problem. Because the band people will always what they will say, they will want to rush you because they want to be paid.
They want to sing so they can be paid.
Not like they want to just let people enjoy themselves. So it's usually a problem to the extent that sometimes they off the microphones of the MCs, try to frustrate the MCs. Also,
has that ever happened to you?
Yes, multiple times.
How do you undo such?
You just you're not there's nothing you can do now. You just because you're not the owner of the sound system. So they are the owner of their sound. So, but it's always unprofessional. And that's when I work with professionals, I don't encounter such issues because they themselves they've been well paid. So even on that day of the event, it's just an extra or a plus for them. Yes. Not like
people want to depend on
spending money. No. So that's a problem. That's a problem. Then with DJs also have their issues with band. Sometimes I always advise that the DJ should bring his own sound system so that it doesn't create a problem, especially when you're sharing with the band. So that's then DJ and MC. There's also issue of aligning. Sometimes the DJ might not want to calm down when the MC is telling him to calm down. Try to do so. It just takes a whole lot of being aligned with whoever. I think the That is why I want to do a master class for young ones coming up in the event industry. With my experience so far, I think people do not understand what the rules of a master of a ceremony, and they just see him as just someone who is the figurehead. They do not know that the master of ceremony is the controller of that event.
Hmm.
If he tells you to stop, you stop. If he tells you to play, you play. You cannot control the MC because it's the MC that moderates the flow of the event. The MC
True.
can see some things happening and he will know how to blend it that the guest will not understand what is happening. That is how the MC works.
Okay, so have you ever experienced any of that situation? In a situation whereby I don't want to make you cast anybody, but have you ever been at a wedding where you are the MC and maybe there was a mild drama between maybe the family of the bride or groom, or maybe a little fight?
Well, I have. I've seen one that the groom slapped the wife that day.
The
I've
groom
seen that
slapped the bride.
slapped the bride that day.
As in, and
And I was the MC. But it wasn't at the reception, it was around the company. The guy was annoyed. I don't know what happened.
Like, wait, let me go back. was it outside of the reception or?
Yes, in the compound, close to the entrance. They had this
argument,
and the guy slapped his wife on that day. That they had to just go and beg her. And know. I've seen families fight, and it's food.
That food aspect
is always food.
It's always happening.
So it's food that is always the problem. That these people do not eat, some people are reserving food, Then I've also had issues with DJs too. There was a time that an event planner and the DJ would have disrupted the reception, where the DJ will just off music. Everybody will be looking, what is happening here? So it's just a whole lot of things have happened, and people do not know how to control their emotions, especially as a vendor. You shouldn't be able to show your anger when you're at work.
Okay, I want to ask you, talking about emotions, what is the worst thing that's been done? What is that one thing that's been done to you? A bad thing, though. I know they say good thing, though. Bad thing. I'm going to talk about good thing too. Maybe this person spray you dollar. But what is that?
Was with an event planner. I was doing a game with a couple, and she was trying to hurry me up that they wanted to have an after party. So I was trying to let her know that after this game, we're going to do the after party. So the game was, while I was at that game, I put all chairs round, gotten the groom, the bride, everybody to sit down. The stress it takes to get people to come out from their seats to come and sit down in the front there. So I'd done that, So I told her that don't worry, we'll do the after party. That he said the couple wanted to go and change. So while everybody were sitting down there, the next thing I just knew was she just came to come and tell the bride something in her ear. And before I knew it, the bride and the groom just stood up and left me right at the act of what I was trying to do. So after I saw what was going on, I knew that I just had to stop that they've disrupted.
So they left there.
Yeah, yes, they left. So then the other friends, they couldn't wait now. Them too, they stood up. It was so embarrassing for me at that moment. So I just had to cover up and just like, we're trying to go into the after party. So I went to meet this lady, and I said, why can't you just be patient and give me that time? And the lady just flared up at me and poured a drink on me.
Wow.
So why she was trying to, because when I just saw it, so I shifted, I was close to the DJ side, so she poured it on the DJ side. So the DJ was playing music, the music just off. Everybody just So it was people were trying to calm the lady down. I was like, what is wrong with you?
And she was the event planner.
And she was the event planner of the wedding. I was so disappointed. I was like, no, this is so. I think that was like the worst moment I had, like, because it was more of she attacking me right in the wedding.
People do.
So that was
Things they happen.
that was the worst encounter.
So, but what would be that? I know you've had, because I don't want us to only dwell on the negative, positive experiences that you never forget. You know, what are the positive experiences?
Well, I've had a lot of positive experiences. I've had people give me bundles of money that I never asked for. They will just say, I can't give the MC. Or you just see oddly, just go and give me inside below.
Your mom, she can't join you. It doesn't like this. Make her collect bundle.
I say, you know, it's that gives you joy that someone appreciates or value what you do. You know, it just gives me money. Then people then spray you. Just MC, take this. You know, those are the good side of it. Then meeting people. It's one of the good side of the event, because I've been able to meet, you know, top politicians, business CEOs. You know, I've been able to meet Wizwu in Nigeria. So those are like the plus side for me in the event industry.
Okay. We're going on a short break now. But before we go on a break, do you only anchor weddings, or you also MC general events?
I host all events, but my niche brand is in the Nigerian wedding industry.
Okay, Nigerian wedding industry. So we're going on a short break. When we come back from the break, we'll continue the conversation, and we'll also talk about MC Dammy's forthcoming event, you know, and other issues pertaining to his brand. Stay with us, don't go away, we'll be right back. When you're looking for a show that is exciting, inspiring, and uncensored, stop right here. This is where you meet your favorite celebrities in an uncensored manner. My name is Kehinde Ajose, and I'm the host of Celebrity Uncensored on TLIG Africa TV. Join me every week for fresh episodes of Celebrity Uncensored on TLIG Africa TV. Don't miss it. Welcome back from the break. This is still Celebrity Uncensored on TLIG Africa TV, and we have with us in the studio the phenomenal MC Dammy. So MC Dammy said he has anchored in 10 years. He'll be celebrating his 10th year anniversary, you know, with an event and all that. We'll delve into that. But he has anchored, you've done like 300 weddings.
Over 300.
Over 300 weddings. And you were saying something about that at least like 10 people have separated.
Yes, that I know of. Out of the 300 weddings I've hosted, you know, I think 7 are divorced, then 3 are just separated. Maybe they might still come back. The spirit touched them, but there are 10 that I know of, and they could be more. But I always love to celebrate love. So at least majority of the ones that I've hosted are still in love, and you know, the love is waxing stronger.
Hallelujah. So, but how does it make you feel?
Well, it's life. It's not. Things happen. It's life. There are things that you can't control. There are things that happen. So it's just and in my own. And the reason why I love to host weddings, because I love to celebrate love. So I love to host weddings for clients who are really in love and really ready to have that forever together. Those kind of clients, if I host their wedding, it's always seamless for me.
You would feel it.
Yes, I'll feel it on that day.
Like these guys really love each other.
Yes, but you see weddings that maybe na pregnancy caused the marriage, or by force prayer. You know, there's always that issues that happen at that reception that I see, that I will know that okay, these ones, they just want to do it, like let's just have a wedding.
Okay, I have two questions on my mind. The first question is, this experience you are recounting, have you ever experienced it. With the situation whereby you dey tell them say make them do game, they were feeling reluctant. But boy,
Well,
is yeah, man, Lord said that.
yes, I've had that. So that's why it was early, beginning of my career. I used to have that. So later on, what I do is I have consultation with the couple before the wedding date. So we then discuss about
you have
the
a meeting with them.
games. Yes, we then discuss about the games we want to have, or we could do virtual meeting, or there is a list I send to every of my clients. The list entails all the informations I need. So once you give me those information, it gives me an idea of what you want and what you don't want. That way it helps my work go smoothly.
So what if they don't? Have you ever experienced children but they didn't answer any of the questions and you were pressed for
rare.
time?
It's rare nowadays. They always give me answers. It's rare. I because I always push it to them to not forget, unless let me get that information. Because if I don't get that information, I've passed the stage of just working without knowing the full details of the clients I'm working with, their kind of family, the kind of guests I'm expecting. Are they bankers? Are they entertainment people? Because I first of all need to know the audiences they are expecting are coming.
True.
So that makes me prepare for the guests. So that is why I always try to ask those questions. So for the games, I say, okay, are you the introvert or you are the extrovert? There are games for introverts, there are games for extroverts.
That's a lot of work.
So it takes, because some will say, oh, I can't dance. But I've had most of my clients say, oh, I'm not a dancer. So okay, don't worry, I won't put you on dancing, much of dancing games. We'll just do more of, question and answer games.
Yes,
so
yes and no.
Yes and no. So those are things that I look forward to have that engaging moment with the couple, because it's not just it's gone beyond just say wedding is this day, oh yeah, I come there, I just come back, because there will surely be issues.
Okay, I have two more questions around this issue. So have you ever anchored a wedding where not even a wedding that was supposed to hold, like maybe they have even giving you part of the money, and later they tell you say they won't do again?
Yes, I've had that, and they say they are no more married together, and they've paid me part payment.
Wow,
I've had that. I've even had like some that postponed the date, and still never. Some they postponed it, I will do the job, but others they don't call me again. I've had that experience.
Okay, let me ask you a follow-up question. So what would you regard as the craziest thing that's ever happened? Not to you, but at the wedding you were part of. Maybe from the guests, maybe the bride's friend. It may be at the reception. Maybe
I'm trying to remember, because I've done a lot of weddings. I'm just trying to see which crazy thing I can say.
Or maybe a guest spraying, maybe part of the groomsmen spraying part of the bride's friend a lot of money, or now these things happen.
Trying to see which I can come up with. Crazy things happen sometimes. It's always happening, because there are some people that always want to show themselves at the reception. There are some, and there are people, they have different motive. That's another thing I've come to realize. Some of the guests who comes to the wedding do not come just to say they want to celebrate the couple. They have, if you say the guy, they find wife. If you say the lady, they find husband. Or if you say wine, they find we go thieving property. Everybody has different agendas that happens on that day. So that's why getting good security also matters. The bouncers and good security system. But for crazy thing, I'm trying to see which crazy thing.
Maybe during one of your games, somebody, because there was also a clip I saw on social media where I think one of the groom's friend gifted one of the bride's friends money.
Oh, okay, yeah, things like that happens. People just want to just show off, or try and do things that way. But I think if it's going to be crazy things, it should just be games. Maybe the dance battles I usually have, they're always crazy. Where you see different people do just crazy dance moves just to bring about the entertainment. Then maybe the songs battles
Yeah.
between the
The
groom's family,
and
sorry, the groom's friends
the
and the
brides.
bride's friends.
Mm.
Things happen at that moment, which are spontaneous moments.
Mm.
So those are things that I think crazy. But for crazy, right now I'm still trying to get one, but I'm not. Maybe while we're discussing
Yeah.
that, one will just flash up and I'll say it.
Okay, so tell us about your show. Why? So you're celebrating 10 years, right? Tell us about it.
Yeah, I decided to celebrate 10 years because it's not an easy feat. And little did I know that I'll be doing this thing for that. It was just something I just started.
Mm.
I just took that decision boldly and I would do this thing. So why don't I just celebrate that feat? And 10 years, they say, is the beginning of something greater.
Mm.
If you want to venture into something, first, if you have the first 10
First 10
years
years.
of the experience, then you are ready for something greater.
Mm.
So the 10 years is like my foundation. And the reason why I say is because I did not have a mentor in the event industry that I was always
Asking questions.
asking questions. I was learning right from while I was working, so I made a lot of mistakes.
Mm.
Is that I made mistakes. I had many losses.
Mm.
I failed at different times. So it's a whole roller coaster of emotions, what I've learned so far. So I decided to then now let's package the show and celebrate this moment of hosting, because it's not easy to be called to be hosting event for people to see you that, oh, this guy is who I want to always come for my event. And for me to have hosted over 300 weddings so far, it's not a small feat. So I decided, let me celebrate it. So it's a comedy music and award concert, and it's going to be happening on the 3rd of November at Terra Culture in Victoria Island, Lagos, and feature A-list comedians, and then the event is tagged Owambe. And the reason why I tagged it Owambe is because of my field. My field is an Owambe field. Weddings is Owambe.
Yeah.
So let's have that Owambe flavor. Then I'd show people on that day how my work is so far in the wedding industry at the Owambe.
So what are those who will be performing?
Well, I have Godons, Clips the Drunk, Bash, the King Kamo, Eteye. We have Makana, Kolamide. So those are my comedy acts. Then special guest appearance, Shebu Johnson will give us the hive. Actually, know what you're talking.
D to the A to the M to the MMY. D to the A to the WMY.
So we'll do Shebu Johnson. Then I have my live band, which is Elite's live band. They're going to be.
You have a
Yes,
live
I own a live band. No, I
okay,
manage,
just
I manage a live band. So they would also be performing on that day.
Fantastic. Terra Culture, 3rd of November, Owambe with MC Dammy. 10 years of creativity, excellence, spontaneous delivery. You need to be there. So let me just ask you like two more questions as we round off. So talking about mentorship, who are those you now you started out without having mentors? Who are those that you mentor you right now? Or that even if they don't mentor you, but who are those that you look up to like as role models in the industry?
Well, someone, because TA is more the Owambe MC, and he gets the jobs, Owambe. So someone and Teju. So but Teju has relocated now. He's in US. So although I read his books, which was helpful, I bought his books. So it was one of also thing that saw me through and made me learn about events. So I think those are my two people that I look up to in the event industry.
Okay. What's your biggest dream
Mm.
as an MC right now? What is that? So it's going to be a two-in-one question. What's your biggest dream? What is that one event you look forward to MCing? And also, what are your plans for the next decade for your brand?
Okay, so I see myself right now in the next 10 years to be an internationally acclaimed global brand where I travel to all countries in the world hosting Nigerian weddings because Nigerians were unique. And we have these, when we do party, we know that a Nigerian is doing a party.
You go choke.
So I want to carry the Nigerian vibe around the world. That is what I see myself globally, on a global scale.
Yeah.
Then also I'd go into the movie industry because I've always wanted to produce movies and have my own movie.
Oh, produce.
Yeah, produce,
Fantastic.
act, and you know.
So you've always wanted to be an actor too?
Yeah, I've always wanted. I've had that passion from my young age. But
have you had an experience? Like, have you actually acted in a movie? Or maybe
I
acted on
have.
stage?
I did. Where I stopped or where I gave up at that time was auditions. I did a lot of auditions when I was younger. So I just felt, let me just build a brand first in something that is more marketable for me to start with. And once I get to the peak of the career, then it will be easier for me to have my movies or produce my movies. Because now I'm not going to look for roles. I'm going to be producing my own movies. So I'm going to, in the next 10 years, I'm looking at producing a couple of movies, actually. I'm also going into event management and large scale. Not just me being an MC. I have other services in the entertainment sector where I consult, do consultancy, and also train people, give people the opportunities that I did not have because I didn't have a lot of opportunities. I went through the hard route. I hustled. I did different things. I was even a boat driver at a point in my career.
So you didn't talk about that part.
So those are things that my hustle. I drove on boats. I slept in the car for 1 year.
Wow.
Driving on boats. So these are
like
personal.
You have an accommodation?
Yes.
Wow.
I used to, because it's not like I had accommodation on the mainland because I was always driving on the island, and I always wanted to stay on the island.
Okay.
So, and early in the morning is the sweetest time to make money. Weekdays, 4-5 a.m. because people are always going to work.
So how possible was it that you did it for like a year?
That was now within the COVID period era where I was not making money. So that was what I was doing. So it was crazy. But I thank God it was also an experience for me because I met people while I was driving them to work. So it's a whole lot of, it's an entrepreneurial journey.
Yeah.
And it's something that I have scaled through. I have learnt. And now in the next 10 years, I want to empower young ones. Great. And I'll be having my foundation too. I want to have a foundation for entrepreneurs.
Are you planning to write a book?
Yes, I am. I'm writing a book. After my show, I'm going to be releasing a book early next year.
Oh, great.
I'm writing a book. We talk about my story, how I started, where I started, and
because this is your story. Those stories, people got to read those stories because the experience, the both experience, the different meeting, different clients with different temperaments, with different situations. It's worth capturing, in a book or maybe in a documentary and all that. So how can people reach you for those who are watching us?
Okay, you can reach me on Instagram at I am MC Dammy, as the MCDAMMY at I am MC Dammy. Then on Facebook, MC Dammy, LinkedIn, MC Dammy, TikTok, I am MC Dammy. Then where else again? Okay, those are the major platforms. You can reach me on.
Okay, great stuff. We've had an exciting time talking to our celebrity guest today, phenomenal MC Dammy. 10 years in the industry, anchored over 300 weddings, is the man for the job. So we want to thank you for coming on the show.
You're welcome.
We wish you the best.
Thank you very much.
You got to be there.
You got to be there.
You got to be there. It's going to be a great time on the 3rd of November. We wish you the best.
Thank you very much.
In the next decade, we pray that you go from strength to strength. Those international open doors will be open. Dubai, London, South Africa, anywhere where you want to go outside the shores of Nigeria. We pray for strength and more open doors for your brand by God's grace in Jesus' name. Thank you for watching today's edition of the show. We stick around for more exciting content on TLIG Africa TV. God bless you.